Good morning. This is Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange, and if you're new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another post from me. But definitely want to go ahead and get into just a little bit of feelings that you get when you want to give up. You started something and you just can't seem to get it right. And you've been working on this thing for so long. You put all your little effort into it and it's just not giving you the results that you want. So what do? We give up. That is the mindset in the mind that just makes us feel like we aren't good enough, that we're wasting our time, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work if you allow it to not work. You have to do the things and challenges to make it right, make it work for you. I'm going to leave you with a quote like I always do. If one dream should fall and break into 1,000 pieces, never be afraid to pick one of those pieces up and begin again. Meaning, what may not work the first time, and it falls all the way apart. You take those parts, you look at it, and you figure out where you went wrong with it. That's how you overcome that feeling of quitting. You never give up. At first you don't succeed. Try and try again. Always. Because it's going to always be a different result each and every time, especially if you really look into it and pick out the pros and cons of that situation and figure out where you can improve in it. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get into it though. Basically, you're pouring all your energy into a goal, expecting an outcome worthy of the effort you're putting in. Yet months have come and gone, and you're not nowhere where you want it to be. Like, what is happening? Why isn't this working? I just want to let it go and quit. I'm not good enough. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing. You got all of this in your head, just going on in a circle. And that negative energy will cause you to quit. You know? But you have to get beyond those obstacles. You know, maybe your business isn't growing as much as you anticipated. Maybe your weight isn't sliding off as easy as you expected. Your level of motivation is like a boxer who's on the ropes and is close to being TKO. He's quitting. He's exhausted. It's over, right? Not exactly. In these very moments where it's tempting to wave the white flag, especially with self-doubt and negative chatter whispering in your ear, so you got your friends just like, girl, that ain't gonna never work, and what are you doing? You know? Girl, this is nothing. You're not making any money off of this. You know, it's gonna be people always in your ear thinking they know what's best for you. You'll have moments where your hard work seems to be for nothing and results seems like a distant fantasy. But this is a part of the journey of growing as an individual. You have to just ignore all of that. Forget what they say. Girl, you're wasting your time. You gotta ignore it. It's during these times when your perspective is of the utmost importance. And I'm going to give you some effective ways to stay motivated about your goals, even when you feel like giving up and the world around you wants you to. Don't let it. Focus on the present moment. You want to make 6 figures and, what's another goal? Want to lose some pounds. These are outcome-oriented goals which aren't completely in your control. You just don't know how well that business is going to go. And you don't know exactly what to do to get to that weight loss goal. You just said you want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. How? You can't control when those 20 pounds will come off, nor you can control those, the money that you want to make. But you can control the process of reaching those goals. Focusing on the process keeps you in the present moment instead of creating a what if or how if or when. You can talk about it. You can pray about it. You could maybe, I hope that it's going to do something, but you're not taking those steps to get there. The process is completely under your control because you decide on your actions. For example, you can control the number of monthly sales calls you need to make to get to your 6 figures you want. You can control your eating habits and exercise for 30 minutes on a daily basis to reach your weight loss goals or more. Be more concerned about what you are doing as opposed to the specific achievement that you want to get to. So let's not focus on where you can become and where you're going. You need to focus on the now. What will it take to get you there? Embrace imperfect action and then analyze it. It's a good one right here. Perfection and the stars aligning during your journey is a fairy tale that will prevent you from being the best version of yourself and will lead to disappointment. It's not always rainbows and snowflakes. It's not. It's hard work. It just doesn't come that easy. Succeeding with your goals require embracing imperfect action and in turn getting imperfect results, then reviewing afterwards. Imperfect action allows you to gather real-world feedback and thus, in the long run, make you likelier to succeed. Meaning, those mistakes, those errors, something that just didn't go well this particular time, you have to take it back and analyze, what did I do wrong here? And what can I do differently there? It's a lesson. Sometimes we have to fall a few times before we finally get there. We do. Always play the long-term game. In a world full of overnight successes and transformations dominating the headlines, it's kind of like hey, I'm quick rich and I'm doing this and I'm doing great. These stories are actually far from that. Those overnight success stories played the long-term game. You just haven't heard of them yet due to the lack of attention given to them from social and mainstream media outlets. Playing the short-term game leads to unrealistic expectations on yourself, along with unnecessary levels of stress. Both of these lead to burning out and other potential health issues. Aim for incremental progress each day, and this will create massive change in the long term. Meaning, you have to gradually get there. It's not going to happen overnight. It's definitely not going to get there. And if it's something that you feel that's going to happen overnight and you just put all your energy into something this one time and then it just fails on you, now you're exhausted. Now you're stressed. Now you're hurt. Now you've invested all this money into something that you really thought that was going to be what you thought it was going to be. Surround yourself with positive support. That's a big one. If you're going into something alone, and especially if you don't even know the ins and outs of it, you just know that you want it. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people. It doesn't even have to be the exact same thing that you're doing, but it's people that gets up each and day and know how to motivate themselves, know how to push through things when life gets tough for them. Everybody wants to be successful, but as well as you still have a life to live, you still have family to take care of, you still have to make ends meet. You might not be able to just cut your job and just go straight into something that you really want to truly do. But you have to surround yourself with like-minded people that will just kind of help you and get you up and pick you up. Like, don't put your head down. You pick yourself up and try that again. If you want to be a millionaire, then you need to hang around with more millionaires. It's just simple as that. If you want to lose weight, you need to hang around with more health-conscious people. You become who you hang around with because you start to think, approach, and see the world through their lenses. And they're eager sometimes to just even help you see that. Only give your time to people who make you a better person and inspire you and not deflate you. Just think about that again. They're here to make you see things a little differently than you have before. Because maybe your judgment was clouded. Maybe you're just like, oh my goodness, I just don't think I can achieve this. You got to get to those people that have failed, but overcame it and found ways to make it better. Hire a coach. Sometimes we do need help with achieving these goals. Just a little extra pick me up. There's nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. No one succeeds in the world alone. Your coach provides an unbiased perspective with the sole objective of helping you achieve your goals. Most importantly, they've likely been through your situation and understand what you're going through. No one is granted immunity from having doubts and feelings that overwhelms at times throughout their business, health, or any other endeavor. But if you ask yourself, am I better off today than I was at the beginning of this journey? And the answer is yes, then you're moving in the right direction. And I want you to take that and think about it. Sometimes our perspective is thrown off because we're not knowing where it's going to lead us, or we're not understanding failure and how to handle that. But if you take that negative and turn it into a positive, and you look at what went well and how can you make that better, and what failed, and how can you improve on that. Study. There's so much literature out there that can kind of help you figure it out. You just have to be willing to do so. When you throw that towel in, that just saying to me that you're not strong enough to handle this, because some successes are harder than others. Definitely. But I do hope these words help you just a little bit. We just have to sometimes rethink things through. And I hope this message does find you well, people. But until the next time, this Miss Maggie T with Lush Exchange. And I just want you guys to know that it's okay to fall. It's okay. But don't be that person that sits there and allows it. Catch yourself. Dust yourself off. And keep moving. All right, you guys. I'm out. Peace.